All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to be doing Bicycle Motocross Action June 1981. So this is the last of my 1981 magazines. I only had two. This one's in pretty bad shape. There's some pages missing, it's damaged, but there's enough stuff in here where I think it'd still be interesting, so I decided I'm just going to go with it. And guys, it was so hard to find the actual cover to this magazine. I had to dig through Google until I could actually find it. And some of the pictures of these magazine covers are blurry, so I couldn't figure out, is this June? Is this June? But I finally found it, guys. Anyway, enjoy. Let's get into it. Hope you like it. All right, guys, let's get into it. Now, like I said, this magazine is definitely not in the best shape. And like off the top, I can see there's already 2 pages missing, not to mention the fact that the that the entire cover's gone. But what I did was I started kind of going through the magazine about a half hour ago. I was just kind of thumbing through it, and I go, there's still enough in here where I think it would be pretty interesting. So I wanted to go through it. I think this will be cool. And again, this is Bicycle Motocross Action, June 1981. It took me a little while to find the cover, but it looked like a really cool cover. I'm assuming that shot was from them testing the PK Ripper, because there is a good PK Ripper test in here. So I want to get into that too. So this is just going to be a really cool magazine. So anyway, let's get started. First page here we have is, sorry, my chair's squeaking, we got Ross Bicycles. So finding a tough bike isn't so tough if you know what you're looking for. Now, what's interesting about this bike, I can totally relate so many of these things to my childhood. This bicycle right here, this Ross right here, if you take a quick look at it, I specifically remember this one because there was a kid in my 6th grade class. I was in the 6th grade at this time, and he had this exact bike right here. And I remember he was outside riding it outside of the school, and I walked up to him. He goes, "Hey, Danny, what do you think of my BMX bike?" And everybody at the time knew I was really into this because I used to bring these magazines, and I'd go, "Oh, it's okay," you know. And that was such a kind of a jerk thing to say. He goes, "What do you mean it's just okay?" And then his friend was with him. He goes, "His bike's probably better than yours." And I'm like, I don't think so. You know, and we got in this big argument, and I was thinking to myself, I ride a Kent, so my bike's probably no better than this one, but, you know, my pride got in the way of that. But anyway, that's the funny story. He had this one. This particular color combo right here, I had another friend in the same class, and he also had a Kent, but it was this color combination, so it was red with yellow. And I don't know if it had Skyway Tough Wheels on it, because these do look like official Skyway Tough Wheels. His was more of kind of a replica, so they were probably knockoffs. But when you look at these bikes, though, even though the quality of these bikes are not what we're used to or what other bikes were at that time, these are such great entry-level bicycles, and most kids in the neighborhood were riding average bikes just like this. Everybody started with stuff like this, if not a Stingray or anything like that. So by the time I got into BMX racing, we were already kind of past the Stingray era, and we were getting into your normal triangle and the triangle frame. So I just thought that was interesting. Let's move on. Oh wow, look at this, guys. This is just amazing, and I'm sorry it's cut and ripped, but look at this shot of these red lines. Man, I could just talk about this for an hour. These are beautiful setups. Look at these specs. The blue with the gold, and I love how they have the gold Sagino alloy cranks, and it's got the blue KKT pedals that are kind of contrasted but match the seat post. Stem is gold. I love it. The V-line handlebars are chrome, but other than that, everything else on it is anodized. Down to the blue snake bellies are beautiful. Look at those gold wheels. Those gold aluminum wheels. That is so awesome. Gosh, when you look at this, these handlebars are so small. I don't know how the heck we rode on stuff like that. I really don't. Well, we were much smaller, I guess. And then check it out. We got the black and gold spec as well with the yellow snake belly tires. Now, I know colored tires are kind of like a thing of the past, but it really set off the bike when you had a set of colored tires on there. I went through a ton of blue ones, and I realized something now that I think back on it. The colored tires, they tend to wear out much faster than the black ones. I don't know if that's my imagination, but that's how I remember it. Let's go to the next page here. Ooh, who is that? Is that John Cruz? Oh no, that's Stompin' Stu Thompson. ABA 1980 #1 pro for Redline Sun Tour factory team, taking the high time. Wow, that is killer. I love to see Stu on the Tough Wheels, man. Everybody was rocking Tough Wheels back then. I still ride Tough Wheels, so I love them. But anyway, I know that makes the bikes heavier. I know it makes them slower, but you know, who cares? They look so freaking awesome. All right, let's go to the next page here. Oh, wow. Guys, I'm so sorry about these cut pages, but look at this. This is Brent Patterson. He's on that yellow Patterson. I love that bike, by the way. He's also rocking Tough Wheels, and they're red. I love his spec, too. Yellow against the red. And check out the orange Patterson pads. And I love, love, love that Haro Racing plate right there with the lightning bolt on it. Perfectly set up. Now, this helmet, Menno helmets give you the protection you need and the comfort you want. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say about this helmet. Not the prettiest helmet. I've never used this helmet, but when they say it's comfortable, okay, it does look comfortable. It's probably weighs next to nothing. He probably felt like he was wearing a baseball hat. You know, I mean, it probably was that light. So other than that, I probably would never wear that helmet, but you got to give it to him, man. You know, they got paid to wear it. Look at his Converse. He's rocking the All-Star Converse there. I love that. That is really cool. All right, let's go to the next page. We got your classic 09 ad. I've seen this one before. This is very cool. Again, this is kind of a Haro replica type thing. Their numbers are amazing. Oh, I was listening to the guy from 09 on Dirty Knobs podcast just this week. Very, very good interview. I love Dirty Knobs podcast, man. It's so awesome. And he was talking a lot about the history of 09, how he got started. And I never knew this, but they actually started off in motocross, not BMX. And then eventually came to BMX. He talked a lot about Ronnie Anderson and his contract disputes with them. And I did see some postings on Facebook with Ronnie, and he looked kind of upset about, I guess, some money that he felt was due to him from 09. And when listening to the guy from 09, and I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, so I really apologize, but he was saying, you know, we were paying him $35,000 a year. He thought he deserved $50,000 a year, and that's where the whole communication breakdown went. But 09 said, hey, we helped him get that #1 plate. We got him to the races he needed to get to. We got him to the races, especially that Pete Lonkarevich wasn't at, to help him gain on points. So that was a story I heard. Again, I'm just a third party looking in, but that's what I heard. But anyway, very, very good interview. I recommend going back and listening to that. Okay, we got the JT Racing ad. Same, I've seen this one before. I really like it, though. It's really a show of times, and more importantly, it shows the fashions and things like that. You know, and the girls with the big hair. Love it. I love those puffy little snow jackets, because I remember those. You got the Vans. Vans have not changed. I got to tell you, man, when you are... Some things in life don't need to be changed, and that's Vans. I mean, if somebody put these shoes on right now and walked around, nobody would look twice because they look exactly the same today. We've got some helmets and visors and mouth guards and hats and gloves. I've had a set of these. You know, they were talking about gloves. The guy from 09, going back to that for a second, and they made the wrist wrap gloves that were very thin, and you can actually feel the grips. Now, I can tell you, being a guy that started racing in '82, I've used these types of gloves. I had these gloves, and they're heavily padded. Now, the good news is, if you fall, and you're going to put your hands out first, it's just going to happen when you fall. They're awesome. They're going to save your hands. But, man, it was tough to get it. You can't feel the grips, and it was really, really weird. Now, if you look at the gloves I'm wearing here, they're from Shift, and they're very thin. I can feel everything. But if I fall... yeah, my hands are going to get a little bit more mangled. But anyway, let's move on. Oh, what the heck is this? Coming on strong. Ooh, that's a nice bike. Works Replica. S&S. That is a sweet looking bike. I love it. The black and gold. Well, I had this exact seat. This looks like a gold fluted seat post as well. I love it. Alloy cranks, man. These are so light. I know that the durability of these was not that great, but they are super light. That's a beautiful bike. I love it. I wonder if anybody owns one of these today. In this condition, it's got to be worth a ton. All right, let's keep moving. Winners can see the difference. MXL. My cousin George had these clubs. I remember these. Those are really cool. Look at the helmet. It has no visor riser in sight. So it's going to go down a little bit, but we weren't quite there yet, guys. but very cool setup. You know, I know a lot of guys don't race with goggles. I do, as you can see right here. I love racing with goggles for one of two reasons. One, obviously, they protect your eyes. And for me, I'm a guy, I wear contact lenses. So I had to start walking around with contacts and glasses on pretty much permanently by the time I got to be about, maybe about 20 years old. I realized I just can't see well enough to race without my glasses. So at first I was doing it the whole Gary Ellis way. I had the glasses on under the helmet. Hated doing that. So eventually I switched to contact lenses, which is great. Now I can see, don't need to have glasses on. But the problem is I was at a race one day, and I remember I was in about third place. We were going through the first turn. It was kind of a windy day, and a lot of dust kicked up in front of me. When the dust hit my contact lenses, it basically coated them. I couldn't see for a second. So I was blinking, trying to clear it. And after that, I realized, yeah, I probably should wear, goggles. But here's the good news. Most tracks today, they have that soil tack on them, and they're so packed in that there is dust, don't get me wrong, but not to the level of what we used to experience, back in the day. Because back in the day, man, it was just it could be a dust bowl. Wow, look at this helmet. Product analysis, BMX MX3 Bell helmet. That is a sick helmet. This was probably state of the art back then. Now, I had a helmet that was modeled after this helmet, but it was not a Bell helmet. I forgot who made it. I want to say Cycle Pro. I think it was Cycle Pro. It looked almost exactly like this, but here's the issue. I went from an open face helmet and I moved to this full face helmet, and if you could see the way it curves right here, and the enclosure for your eyes, which would be right about here, is very small. So when I put this helmet on, although I thought it looked really cool, I had so many vision problems. The first day I raced with this, I was in practice, and we were going through the first turn, and I just completely cut this kid off. I couldn't see him. He was in my blind side, my blind spot, which is right here. And that's when I realized, I go, uh-oh, this is a different world with a full face helmet. And I ended up racing that helmet for probably at least a year and a half, 2 years, and then I went back to open face. I'm like, oh yeah, this is I can't see very well, it's heavy, and so I switched to open face. But now, as you can see, that's not a thing anymore. We all wear full face. And to this day, when I'm riding and I'm practicing and it's hot and I got a full face helmet on, man, I feel like I can't breathe in that thing. I'm like, God, I gotta get this thing off my face, and I miss the open face days. Let's keep going. Oh, here we go, Cycle Pro. I was just talking about them. So they had some forks, unique design, the shotgun seat, which is awesome, snake belly tires, which were epic at the time. They had their stems, bottom brackets, hubs. Everybody had this version of grips. You know what? I know this is kind of a rad grip thing, and I bought these grips. I bought some knockoff versions of these before I got actual rad grips at Cragen Auto Supply. Cragen Auto Supply was just an auto parts store, but it had a small section of bike parts, and you can buy little things like this. And I bought some grips there. You know who else did that was I don't want to say it was this another store. It was called Gemco, and Gemco is kind of like what Target is today. And you can go into Gemco, and in the back of towards the back of the sporting goods section, they had a ton of bike parts, and they were decent bike parts too. I know, so I got some stuff from back there too. That's funny. I can't believe I remembered all that. Let's keep going. Whether it's full grunt racing or laid back cruising, Laguna's got it all. Okay, my friend had a Laguna. One of my buddies had one of these. I remember that, and I love that big cruiser. That looks like that looks very comfortable. Man, I go on a lot of bike rides. I go on a long bike ride. I still use my BMX bikes. I don't tend to use anything else. And the seat's just not as comfortable, or my ass just can't take it like I could when I was a teenager. Sometimes I'm riding, I'm like, oh man, this is starting to hurt. And I use racing saddles from road bikes and mountain bikes. For one, they just look super cool, and they have some padding. But even with that, they're still kind of hard. All right, let's keep going. Bike shop sponsorships. Everything you always wanted to know about bike shop sponsorships, and this is how everybody starts off. Back in the 80s, when I was racing in Fremont BMX and Old BMX, year-round BMX, mainly Fremont BMX, there was a bike shop in Hayward, California, and it was called Samco Engineering. Samco had all the fastest local guys on Samco, and I had just started racing at the time, And I remember seeing anybody with that blue and white Samco jersey on was fast as hell. And I wanted to be on Samco. I'm like, damn, I wish I could be on Samco. But at the time, I was just a scrub. I couldn't even make a main, so there was no way I was going to race for Samco. But that's really cool. Of course, we won't read all of this, but I love that illustration. That's a really cool picture. That's awesome. All right, let's keep rolling. Oh, John Cruz. That's a great picture. Love this one. Yeah, he's battling Parkinson's right now, and he talks a lot about it on the Dirty Knobs podcast. I believe he's going to be at Frogtown this year. This guy is a legend. I love this guy, John Cruz. Super stylish, super fast. Look at his red line. Look how clean that is. Never mind what he's advertising, getting gear with the pit kit. But I'm just checking out his bike in the background. Looks like he's got Tioga Comp 2s on there. That is just super slick. All right, let's keep moving. Here's some more stuff about the bike shops. Bike shop sponsorship benefits and responsibilities. Racer responsibilities involves training, race results, boom, boom, boom. Shop can give you racer and can receive. What shop can give racer can receive? Jersey, occasional freebies. Now, I had a bike shop sponsor at one point, and I was riding for Livermore Cyclery in Livermore, but it wasn't like a real sponsorship. We bought the jerseys and everything, but they gave us, I think, 20% off of any products that we bought in the shop by just wearing their jersey. So it was kind of a sponsor, but it gave us something to be happy, proud about. There was like 4 of us. One of them was my cousin, and we all had matching jerseys, and they were 09 jerseys, and it said Livermore Cyclery on the back. And they were white 09 jerseys, and they were really cool. I thought they were cool, so it was kind of a cool little thing. Ooh, right. Let's check this Diamondback ad out. This is so awesome. Diamondback Fever. Now, if this doesn't scream 80s, I don't know what does, guys. Look at this. That is amazing. And who is in this photo? Let's check it out. Okay, that's Pete Loncaravage right there. Look at the black Haro plates. That is just sick. I love it. Then we got Eddie King. And of course, you can't say Diamondback and not mention Harry Larry. Harry Larry's in there. I'm not sure who this young guy is. Who is that? No idea. 11 expert, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, guys. I can't figure it out. I think that's Doug Davis right there, right? I don't know this one either. So, man, I thought I knew it all, but apparently I don't. But that is such a great, great ad. Love it. Whoever I got wrong here, guys, I'm really sorry. But this is beautiful. This ad is just awesome. Full 2-page ad. I remember when Diamondbacks came out, there was a guy in my a kid in my neighborhood. As a matter of fact, his name was Guy, and he had a chrome Diamondback like this one, and he had all blue components on it. So his bike was really sick. He would never raced, but he was like really, really good on a bike. And this brings up a story, guys. I want to share this really quick. I know that with BMX, there is a level of bullies in BMX. And what I meant by that is there are certain kids in my neighborhood that had these high-end race bikes, awesome race bikes like this. None of them raced. There was at least 4 or 5 of them. They had these, all of them had killer bikes. Now, me and my cousin James had just got into BMX racing. And so our bikes were really entry level. We were slowly building them up. We were getting there. But our parents didn't just hand us high-end race bikes. We had to earn them. So we were riding our bikes, just enjoying them. And there was an empty lot not too far from where we lived. And it had one jump on it. Me and my cousin were riding back and forth, jumping on it, having a good time. And these five or six guys, I can't remember, they all showed up on these race bikes. And they proceeded to just harass the hell out of us. Your bikes suck. Those handlebars suck. Your bike's too heavy. They were all talking all this trash. And I remember thinking to myself, none of you guys race. Because I remember asking them, do you guys race? And all of them said no. And me and my cousin, well, I hadn't even started yet, but my cousin was racing. So I'm like, how are you guys insulting us and none of you race? I remember thinking that, but we were totally outnumbered by these kids. And so anyway, we sat there and we took the abuse for like what seemed like an hour. And I finally told my cousin, I'm like, let's get the hell out of here, man. So we started riding home. And we were like almost home, and one of the kids chased us down. I'll never forget this, man. I must have been 10 or 11 years old. He chased us down on his bike, and he cut us off, and he stopped us, and he goes, if you guys go home and tell one of your big brothers about this, I'm going to catch you alone later and I'm going to kick your ass. And I remember thinking that, and I'm like, oh, he's a punk. Now that I'm a grown adult and I look back at that, I go, oh, he was afraid. He had to come make sure we didn't go get somebody else to defend us. Not that they physically harmed us. It was all verbal abuse. But I thought it was very strange. And then also, speaking of kind of the bully stuff, as I started coming up in racing, there are kids that are already established BMX racers that are good, that are experts, that have all the latest and greatest stuff. Sometimes those are the most arrogant kids in the world, man. And that's, I don't know what it is about a kid racing BMX that has found some success that makes him so arrogant. I remember running into kids back in the day that were just plain rude, you know, and it just is, it is what it is. Now, not all of them were like that. Now, I remember there were some kids that they can sense that, hey, you're new at this, and they kind of take you under their wing and say, oh, it's cool, dude, you're gonna get faster, you're gonna get better. But there was a lot of egos out there. There was a lot of kids that were just spoiled. You know, they had all the greatest stuff, and they just loved to talk down to other kids. It was kind of just whatever, you know, rite of passage, whatever you want to call it. Kind of how you grew up in the 80s. You just had to take it, man. There was no, you know, we didn't have a complaint department at the track. You just had to man up. Anyway, let's keep going. I keep talking. Here we go. We got an MKS ad. This is pretty sick. Those are really cool looking pedals. My first set of BMX pedals look like that. Like I think I said before, I never really had a set of these, but I can tell you if these spun and hit your shin, yeah, it created some damage. Plus, those were nothing compared to the bear traps, though. What do we got here? Oh, I didn't even know Ukiah went as far back as 81. That's really cool. Ukiah rims, hot stuff, 1981. Love it. Look at these ProTech helmets. My cousin Eric had this helmet. Again, it's another full face helmet. ProTech made very light helmets. So if you were looking for a light helmet, maybe it wasn't the most stylish helmet in the world, but it was definitely, it did its job and it was super light. Okay, let's keep going. Speaking of light, ooh, look at this. Pad versus pad. You know what's weird about this whole section is this is what it was at the time, and this was the wave of the future. So you're looking at pads that are vinyl with snaps that looked really nice. Don't get me wrong. They were beautiful pads. They turned to rip by the snaps with age, though. They would break down. And then you're looking at California Lights, which became basically the pads we ended up with. They were very super light Velcro. Not that these weighed like a brick or anything like that, but if you compared this one to this one, you can definitely feel the difference. This is a really good kind of like a stepping stone of showing where things were to come. Now we just abandoned pads. I don't know why we abandoned pads. They were, one, they protect you at least somewhat, and secondly, they just look cool. So, but it is what it is, man. Progression. Oh, check it out, guys. Torker and Jensen, Double Trouble. This is really cool, Jason Jensen. Now, there is a YouTube video of Jason Jensen, and he was at our local track. It was, at the time, they called it Fremont BMX. If you go on YouTube and you just put Jason Jensen, and then I think the show was called Super Kids. If you put it in there, you can find him at our local track, and he's racing at our local track, and he was doing really good. And my cousin George was in the background. I saw him, and we were watching it on TV, the Super Kids show, and my dad pointed him out. He goes, "Hey, look, there's George." And I go, "Holy crap, there he is." I didn't go that day, and I was racing at that time, but I remember that weekend I didn't go. My cousin James didn't go. Just George went with his family, and we missed the whole thing. And I'm like, oh man, we missed it. But anyway, that's pretty cool. And he made the Hall of Fame a couple years ago, and he never turned pro. He was just a dominant amateur. So that is really awesome. I'm looking forward to the Hall of Fame's presentation this year, by the way. Oh, check this out, guys. Competition 2s. This is awesome because the Comp 3s haven't come out yet. Look at that. Those tires are really cool. I would totally rock these now. You know what's weird is Comp 3s came and it became the most epic BMX tire ever. Like Comp 3s were absolutely everywhere. I saw somebody posted a picture on Facebook, and there was a kid coming out of the gate and he had a set of Comp 3 tires on, and the caption simply just said, Comp 3 tires. There was a time when everybody, I mean everybody, used these tires. And yeah, that's absolutely true. I never had a pair of these. I kind of went from snake bellies to like, I don't know what, well, maybe I did. I think I went from snake bellies to Comp 2s to Comp 3s. So yeah, those are really, really cool. Let's keep going. What do we got here? Stress in BMX racing bikes. Where your, let's see, where your bike is going to break and why and what's being done about it. So this is kind of like the beginning stages of the modern BMX bike, and you can see how it has gussets to strengthen the bike. Gussets are a thing of the past. We don't use these anymore, but they looked really cool. And look at the welding. So it's so beaded so beautifully. That's just awesome. Let's keep going. Oh, it's showing all the places where your parts can break. These are the stress points. One-piece cranks, this is the stress point. You know what? I had a pair of one-piece cranks like this, and at one point I bent them so that the arms, one would be this way and the other one was kind of going this way, so they weren't even lined up true. And I still raced them bent and didn't realize they were bent. And people would ride my bike and they'd go, dude, your bike rides like crap, your cranks are bent. And I was so used to it, I got so adjusted to it that I couldn't feel the difference. I just raced it. And then finally I go, okay, they started to crack. So I had to get a new set of one-piece cranks, and I got the new set of one-piece cranks. They were completely true and solid. And oh my God, it was like night and day. I was like, oh my gosh, how was I riding my bike around like that? That was just insane. Okay, let's keep rolling. Oh, here's a critical stress point for the forks. This is a classic BMX fork that's still used today, even though we got carbon fiber forks. There's all kinds of different options for forks, but the general design is still pretty good, as you can see right there. I have them on my GHB. So that's whoever designed this, hats off, man. It went on for years and years and years. We got a Rough Rider ad, and MotoCross Fox is in BMX. Oh, check it out. So you can see that's probably Brent Patterson, and he's rocking the Fox products. And he's inside the 1981 catalog for Fox Racing. That's really cool. All right, let's keep going. I've been talking a lot, guys. I'm so sorry. 26 minutes in. We got a Haro ad here with all the greatest things. We got the number plate, you got the 2-finger pull there, replacement for the Haro plate there. You can replace them. I don't know where the Max pants are in there for, but those look really cool. And what? I love this picture. I've seen this one before. Scott Breithaupt got the quad angle going on, advertising the Z rims. I didn't realize Z rims went back so far, but yeah, I guess they did. Scorpion BMX, we've seen this one before. These are decent looking bikes. Really, really cool. I like how everyone had one bike with tough wheels on it. Look at the team one though. Yeah, that was probably about $500 back then, I'd imagine. I don't know what I don't think it shows the prices on here. My best guess is it'd be about 500. What does it got? Ultima BMX. They had their own frame set. It's kind of a copper looking frame. Well, these are decent looking. Nice parts. Everything you need to build a really high-end race bike. That's really awesome. The Sun Tour ad, I've seen this one before. I love this part with the Red Line boys. John Cruz, Stu Thompson, John Anderson, Jeff Ruminer. Love it. Oh, look at this Vans ad. What's that in Vans Tennies? Or who's that in Vans Tennies? Look at this picture. That's beautiful. It looks like a Skyway rider, but I'm only guessing because of the blue, but that is amazing. Oh, I love that. That's a great ad. Let's keep going. Uh-oh, here we go. Official test. SC Racing PK Ripper. Oh, dude, that is such a great photo. I don't know who took that. Oh, I can't tell, guys. I don't know who took the photo, but I'm guessing that's Oz's work. But that's awesome. It says the OM PK on a PK trying berm busting and coming up bust. So that is not Perry Kramer, but Scott Breithaupt. OM flyer. You can see it on his helmet. So cool. Love it. Oh, this is such a great shot. That must be RL boosting right there. Yeah, RL getting back for a double jump attack. Dude, he's got some height there. Look where these guys are standing compared to where RL is. So he was boosting. I love PK Rippers, man. It was one of my favorite bikes that I ever owned. Look at that. That is just awesome looking. So cool. And they're so popular today. All the big rippers and everything. People still love these bikes today. They're one of the most beautiful bikes ever made, in my opinion, BMX for BMX. Oh, here we go. Hey, what's the matter with you? You don't like my bike? That's a really cool picture. Perry Kramer himself. Man, I wonder what it feels like to be PK and you go, man, one of the most epic bikes is named after me. If you can go back to like the late 70s and tell them, dude, once we name this bike after you, people are going to be riding them until 2023. He'd probably be thinking, yeah, you're insane. This is a great shot here. Look at that. Oh, Scott's about to eat it. They must have found the biggest puddle in the world and told him, guys, just ride through the puddle. That's what it looks like, but that's an awesome picture. Let's keep going. Oh, check it out. Quarter pipe action here. We got RL. Oh, no, that's Buff. Excuse me. Trying to PK on the Trick Team quarter pipe. This bike works good for everything. Oh, and you know that Buff has his own bike out with Destiny Racing. He has a few of them. That's nice. Look, that's a nice setup right there. It's just straight knobby tires on there. I like it. Let's keep going. This looks like a mini Ripper. Yeah, for little dudes, the Ripper. They just call it the Ripper. $330 to $350 for the complete bike. That's a lot of money for 81, but that was a sick-ass bike. There we go. You guys go ahead and ride the bikes. I'm going to chow down and on this care package from Fuku's. So I guess he was getting this little Chinese food on, I'm assuming. Here's another Bell ad. Bell's new BMX3. We looked at that a little earlier. That's really cool. We got the MX2 headsets. Hot stickers. Great, man. This is just such great stuff. We got the Arrow. Arrow's coming back. I just saw they have a page on Facebook, and they just posted recently, hey guys, we're bringing out products again. We got things straightened out. We're getting ready to launch, which is good because they kind of went dormant for a little while. And I messaged the guy, I go, hey, I'd love to get some Skyway pants from you. He goes, that's not going to be a problem when we get started. Plus, we're going to be building or making some modern race gear too that you might be interested in. I'm like, awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. That's really cool. And look at these Arrow stickers. Yeah, that's so cool. It's so great to see something like that come back. Now, this is amazing. Look at this picture, guys. How freaking cool is that? RL and John, and look at their bikes. That's just freaking... This is why 80s is so epic. I just love... I get so excited about this stuff. Sorry, guys, but this is awesome. John Boy Cruz, Factory Redline, and RL Osborne, the BMXA Trick Team. Love it. He's on a PK. Looks like, and John's sitting on his Redline. That is just... Love this picture, man. All right, let's keep going. Captain Cosmo photo contest. I don't know what this was about. Let's see. Take your best shot of your Moto dog or Moto aardvark or whatever kind of pet you've got. And they were giving away some stuff. Let's take a look. Take a look. First prize is this Mongoose. Wow. Magnificent Super Goose featuring new chrome plating, Team Mongoose forks, one-piece chromoly cranks, quick change gearing, and Mongoose skin wall tires. Nice. I would love to win that back in 1981. And now check it out. You can get the Bell helmet for second place. And then third place, front and rear set of Qual ACS Stoker 2 sealed bearing hubs and wild new ACS wheels. So you get yourself a set of ACS wheels, Z wheels with some ACS hubs if you came in third. You got to get them laced up, but who cares? It's free. But man, I'd love to have won that. I wonder who won this stuff, man. I always wonder that when I go through these. Let's keep going. Okay, so I guess this is an example of what they're looking for, you know. Who's going to come up with the best pet photos. All right, awesome. ABA, up-and-coming ABA Nationals, June 27th and 28th in Salt Lake City, Utah. Ooh, July 4th and 5th in Amarillo, Texas. And then July 18th and 19th in Elkhorn, Indiana. So we had one in May as well in Des Moines, Iowa. And then also on June in Portland, Oregon. So we had some nationals coming up. They had 5 nationals from May, June. It looks like there was 2 in June. This is what I guess would be considered a summer tour for a lot of guys. That's awesome. Now this ad, I want to comment on this for a second because I have a clear, vivid memory of this ad. I remember it. You know, I don't know what it is about this ad. When I saw it, I was like, oh, wow, I totally remember this as a kid. You know, it's obviously photoshopped, but it's, well, I guess they didn't call it Photoshop by then. It was edited, but that's awesome. Look at all the old products in her. You got your Captain Crunch, Sunkist, SOS pads. Look at the Tide box. I just remember all this. There's a little instant box of Jell-O there. I remember these potato chips. A lot of the stuff still looks the same. There's the Heinz ketchup bottle. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let's keep going. Oh, what do we got here, guys? Chandler. ABA Amy Winter Nationals. All right, let's take a look. What do we got here in the corner? Let's read it. We got, it says here, Blazing Saddles. Off the line comes the Pro Money Main. When the smoke cleared, it was Rumineer, Hill, Leary, in that order. What? That is so awesome. Guys, if I can get in a time machine, go back and just watch some of these races live, I would die a happy man. That would just be amazing. Oh, there's the Chandler track. Oh, look at this shot right here, though. When you have the whole shot in the AA Pro Trophy main, and Stu and Greg breathing down your back, and your line to the first turn is a little wide, what do? You stick your sliding foot way out. Denny David Doe kept his lead for the win. Look at this action, guys. Can't do that in clips. I'm just going to say that right now. He's got his foot way out there. Interesting, he's racing for Skyway and he's on a GT because the Skyway hadn't dropped their frame sets yet. But that is amazing shot. That is beautiful. Love it. Oh, look at this one, guys. John Severvin getting busy right there. And then we got the Bassett team right. Oh, no, Torker team, excuse me. Oh, check that out. Love that, man. Gosh, where did all the time go? Look at my king. He's just a little guy. That's beautiful. Let's take a look at what the track look like. Now, here's the big difference, man. If you're looking at this track, if you're a kid watching this video and you saw this track in this video, you're probably thinking, what the hell is that? But it is super flat. You're coming down a straight. There's a slight drop off right there off the starting hill. All flat. We got a small berm here, but most guys are probably going to cut inside and not even utilize this berm right here. Then you're going to come through here. You got a small speed jump, tiny berm, and then you got what looks like a set of triples, but they probably just jumped the first two, speed jump that one, flat turn again. You're going to come down here, drop off, then to your last berm, up this little incline here, one speed jump, finish line. So looking at this, you can honestly see, guys, this is all horsepower. All horsepower. You're pedaling. That's the main difference between these tracks and the modern tracks, because in the modern tracks you can get a killer first start and you can start pumping, manualing, getting good backside, and you can finish the track. So how many times have you guys seen videos where guys go, oh, watch this, we're going to have a pump race, where they just don't pedal at all. They can do the whole course. If you try to do that here, you're going to run out of steam right about there. It's just not going to happen. That's the big difference. Oh, wait, let's look at results. I like looking at the results. Let's take a look. Pro AA Money, Jeff Rumineer won it. Greg Hill second, Harry Larry third, Scott Ahart, Stu Thompson, Clint Miller, John Cruz, and Scott Clark. Pro AA Trophy, Denny David Doe. Oh, he did that. Stu Thompson, Greg Hill. Oh, Greg was consistent. Harry Larry, Kevin Ridling, John Cruz, Frank Post, Jeff Rumineer. And then for Pro A Money, George Fasak, Lance Wells, and Zach Butler. Who won Pro A Trophy? George Fasak, David Lee, and Brad Stewart. So they had a lot of pro races. I'm kind of wondering what I wonder what the purses were for these races. I wonder how much money they were winning. That'd be interesting to know. Got another great shot right here. Body Dynamics Unlimited, another triple for Billy Feltz on JMC. Really cool. Whoa! Look at Richie Anderson. Scored one of the weekend's 3 triples. Kelly McDougal was second and 13 expert. I love that. Man, one of my favorite riders. It was funny, I was re-listening to Dirty Knots podcast when they were interviewing Ronnie Anderson. I was just re-listening to it. I tend to listen to these things while I'm working. And anyway, Ronnie was talking about Richie, and he goes, Richie didn't just win. He won like all the time. All the time. And that's just tells you how dominant they were. Ooh, let's check this out. This is just kind of an aerial shot. Here's the track way over here. And you can see everybody parked. That's pretty awesome. A lot of people were there for that race. That just looked like a lot of fun. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on for this. Oh, that's a great shot. Jeff Moten. Ooh, what do we have here? Ooh, is that Andy Patterson? Yeah, GT's Andy Patterson giving trubs to everybody else in 16 Expert. Yeah, that is a beautiful shot. Look at that. I heard Andy on a podcast one time say that, I think he was on Rail the Berm, and he said there was a point in his life that he said, I could have raced for any team I wanted. Everybody wanted to sponsor me. And I was like, wow, that's pretty freaking amazing. Look at these cruisers. Costs. Getting, let's see, seen leading here, cruisered into the top of the Pro Cruiser class. Man, those bikes look massive. Those look like 26-inch bikes. I'm assuming that they are, because those look huge. That's really cool. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, wow, more race shots. Oh, okay. I'm so excited to see this right now. This is Bobby Motomag. He was from Rail the Berm. I love this guy. He's so funny. Man, I missed that show. The hot tip for killing time between motos was boogieing across the street to this culvert and going for style points. And that's Bobby Motomag, man, doing his thing. He was so funny in that podcast. This is a great shot here. Check out the finish line vision for Jason Wharton, 910 Open winner. That's a nice shot. It's got that steel look in his face. Look at, there's absolutely no number plate. The one's just hanging there. That's awesome. They were trying to reduce the weight as much as they could, as I'm assuming. And then here's just some more shots for Chandler. This was a lot of beef on the line for the 26 and over cruiser main. A lot of beef. You know what's funny is these guys are 26 and over, and you know they're just dads. They look like dads. But if you look at 26-year-old guys now racing the expert class, they're amazing. They're fast. They're awesome. Pros are 26 years old. I mean, that's how much the sport's changed, you know. Dear John, see you out. What is that? See you at the. Wait a minute. See you at the. Whatever that is, $. See you at the money, I'm assuming. Don't forget the rad grips. Jay. You got the rad grips going on. Hey, guys. I'm doing my BMX vlog. Do you want to say hello? Hey. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are going on my vlog. Sorry. Let's keep going. Okay, we've talked about these grips before. We got the Oakley grips. These are, I've only ever ridden bikes with these on them. I never owned a set of these. I don't know. They're just unique looking. I don't think they were the greatest grips. Oh no, this page is completely cut up. But you can see that it was an Oakley ad. Oh, this is when these must have first came out. I had a pair of these Oakley goggles, and I got the face mask that snapped in there. Those were so sick. Let's keep going. Oh no. Somebody was doing something on this quarter pipe and it's gone. And here, oh, how to build a quarter pipe. Freestyle is just barely infancy stages here. This is really cool. Really cool. All right, let's keep going. Oh, shoot, look at this. That's awesome. Tricycle motocross action. Love it. That's amazing. And then finally a Max ad, and we're getting down to the end. The complete racer, Kelly McDougall. Oh, Cook Brothers. This is, oh, he had an interview here. Oh, let's check out his bike. Oh, that's awesome. Look at how that, look at that. That's just beautiful. Love it. Cook Brothers. Never owned one, man. A little bit before my time, but very, very cool. Dang, check out his seat clamp. That's awesome looking. I had a brake lever like this one. I remember that. Oh, I wonder what this spring thing's about. Probably keeps his, maybe that's kind of a chain tensioner? I don't know. That's pretty cool. Winkles. Products. Look at AC/DC Rush. Led Zeppelin Kiss. Boy, damn, our music was awesome, wasn't it, guys? The Stones. Oh, what do we got here? Is that Hutch? Oh, wow, it is. Ooh, such a frame from Hutch. Wow. Frame was 3 pounds. 3 pounds, 8 ounces, 3 pounds, 11 ounces for the Pro Racer. Pro size frames, 3 pound, 11 ounces. That's sick. Look at this bullseye hubs. I don't think they've ever made hubs better than that. And guys, we made it. We made it 43 minutes, probably because I wouldn't shut up with my side stories. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be, especially with the fact that this magazine was so damaged. But anyway, as always, guys, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I got it. At first it was hard. Nobody believed me. Ever since then, I'm making it clear. This my year. This my year. I hustle in the dark with a bright my head. Get the bright idea.